our people will not go in vain. I have the capacity, not just as an individual, but as myself and my team, to protect the votes of our people. Nowhere in history, nowhere in the world is the votes of persons protected by one individual because that person is the candidate. The vote is protected by every person who supports that individual, far and wide, seen and unseen. Furthermore, I want to add that here comes in the strength of a woman. The strength of mothers is that they are able to negotiate tight curves and that they have relational currency, which men may find alien to their nature. It must not be kill 'em across the three political parties. Sitting before you and speaking to you all today is the person who cuts right across all the parties because of the relational currency I've had with the human beings across board. For a lot of people right now in Edo State, it transcends party divide. And these are some of the things we are going to see that is going to enable the protection of our votes. In the final analysis, when pushed to the wall, now who they pursue person and they show person road. So if I not fit grab and snatch and run with them, I get men and women where if we do snatch and grab them and run with them. And as my people go say for Bini, those who are playing in the playground have people inside the house that actually own the playground. So let nobody have any fear at all. A Dr. Loretta Oduware Ogboro-OKOR led Labour candidacy can protect our votes.
That was the voice of Her Excellency, the incoming governor of Edo State by the special grace of God. She has boldly declared that a Dr. Loretta has the ability and the capability to protect the vote of those that will vote for her. Your Excellency, ma, what have you done in the past as a reference point? And what are you currently doing? And what will you do once you become the governor of Edo State, ma?
Thank you. If we start from the past, even as a child selling in a urban market, I would see children who are hawking rubber bag, quality rubber bag. With the small money where I get for university, I'll call them, buy all their rubber bags and tell them, go to school. Don't hawk again for that day, go to class. Moving forward, in the diaspora, we walk the diaspora. Anywhere I go, a proud ambassador of Edo State. And then, myself and my husband decided we must begin to give back. And every year till now, since 2010, we have been running the Ashanti-Gram Health and Education Initiative Foundation, where we give laptops, brand new, and prize cash in pounds to the best graduating students in surgery. We've donated equipments that run into millions to University of Benin, another teaching hospital in the South-South zone. You can verify it. We gave University of Benin her first operating microscope. And we've not stopped there. The Loretta Health Initiative, we've gone around our 3 senatorial districts, bringing healthcare to the people in their house, free glasses, free medication, till tomorrow, 39 Sakwamba Road. Go there when we now start after Christmas. They've taken Christmas break. They are back at the end of this January. We still will see patients there or see people there. We've been doing this in the grassroots all these years. This current administration that is running out, it is obvious how we worked to bring Governor Godwin Obaseki onto the seat. I didn't go and beg him. Governor Obaseki, I want to help you come onto the seat. He approached me. It was voluntary. It wasn't paid for. It was for the good of Edo State. Because we thought there was light at the end of the tunnel. A lot of us here worked, and we saw those antecedents. The Edo State Diaspora Agency was supposed to be set up. I was one of the people who worked voluntarily to work in that steering committee and set it up. As I mentioned earlier, I was the lead person for the Obidati manifesto. I led the healthcare part of that manifesto, working day and night endlessly to make sure that our people get the best. And moving forward, what can Edo State ever be without all of us coming together and saying we need to write the challenges? I won't waste time talking about the challenges. My vision is to see Edo State as truly the heart that beats from the Kukuruku hills of Edo North, through the Barbalenimi wonders of Esan Central, to the man-made moat of Edo South. I have gone round it. And what have the people told me that they want? Papa Amina to tell me, say, in one they go in farm without headsmen coming to destroy his farm. Mama Osarieme said she want toilet for the market where she for the sell. Papa Ehis saying want water for his land. So the challenges we know am. Waiting a Loretta government won't do. Now to make sure say Edo State go be like that city on top of a hill. How we want to do it? It's simple. We tagged it the pacts. THE and I pacts. The I pacts. THE. T is simple. It's for technology. We are going to leverage on it. H is for healthcare. Basic public healthcare. E is for education. Basic and technical education. Leveraging all these two on technology, because we won't spend the people money on the people. This is not the first pillar. The second pillar be say, we want make Edo State, make it grow, economically explode, financially self-sufficient. California is not a miracle. It is the work of people. So we want that growth to happen in Edo State by creating an enabling environment for Edo State people to thrive and to invest. And that is the I part of it. I stands for infrastructure, both soft and hard. So roads and security. P is for production. A is for agriculture. Taking it from the local level. Orion they wastes. Edo Central, they suffer lack of water. What stop us from doing artificial irrigation and trapping the runoffs as well? And when we now take agriculture and walk down the entire value chain of agriculture, we will see, say, we go begin the package, we'll begin the export. Ekboma rice alone can feed the whole of Edo State, export and generate revenue for us while creating job opportunities. And then you move on. You move on from the to commerce. Everything that we create, we must make sure that we're able to get it across to other people and be a hub in our state. And of course, T is tourism and diaspora. We must leverage on our diaspora and we must open the doors of tourism. Also saw hills with those footprints in them. They are a tourist marvel. Why are we not doing this?
All right, Your Excellency.
Because
I'm going to allow you to continue.
Without proper security.
Henry, please mute your mic, please.
Without proper
Your
security.
Excellency, can you hear me? Can you hear me loud and clear?
I can hear you, sir. Without proper security and a safe environment.
All right, can you? Okay, I want to cut in. It is easier said than done. In the last count, Edo State is owing billions of naira. How do you intend to get money to do all of this? Edo State is owing.
Thank you for that.
How do you intend to get the money to do all of this?
Thank you for that, Honorable. At the risk of giving expo to other aspirants, I will answer the house just a bit and leave a lot of it behind, just so you people are convinced that my team and myself have carefully researched the fields. First of all, what we must understand that government or governance a la continuum. It's a continuity. That's why other countries get it right. You don't come and because you are angry with the government that passed, you didn't like their face, you pull down even the good things that they did. I'm not up for that. What is good that successive governments have done, we will keep it. What is not so good, we will improve on it. And what they did not do well, we will take it out and we will fix it. That's how we're going to get it right. In terms of generating the resources, it is simple. First of all, we must close the gap between the governed and those in governance. The cost of governance itself is too much. Okay, we must do that. And then we must think out the box. How do we generate income? Let me give one tiny expo. You see our diaspora. We send in remittances every time we are quoting it, but we've never looked at sector-driven remittance. Every country's diaspora has been responsible for their development, even from the times of ancient Rome through to the time the British diaspora looted different African nations, and up until now when they do contemporary slavery and do things like American lottery. So we need to explore the strength of our diaspora. This is just one expo. Western Union today sponsors Igwe Festival, not because they love us that much. It is because of the money they make from us and they think they have to give back. So why don't we set up our own money transfer mechanism? Some of us in POPSG, we are abroad. Imagine that Edo State has our own money transfer mechanism or money transfer agency, and you are giving reduced rates. So maybe to send €100, Western Union, they say bring £5 as commission. If you are a Edo State citizen or netizen, whatever you are, we said you will bring only €4 for your £100, and that money is remitted back home. Imagine the money we are going to generate. Again, when you go around America, you will see this road is adopted by ASYZ. Why are these people adopting? Because it's their corporate civic responsibility. A Loretta-led government is going to tell the corporates amongst us that they need to adopt, for example, a primary healthcare center. I'm not going to go and start building new ones. I'm going to say, Zenith Bank in Edo State, adopt a primary healthcare center. And all you have to do is ensure that there's 24-hour light. For example, I will tell you that it will take you 2.5 million to deliver solar panels of 400 watts. And you need 5 to run an average healthcare center. You can check that out, but you need 5. So to generate 2,000 watts. And each in a PHC ward of 192. So we have 192 wards. Multiply 192 by 2.5 million. It's still under $500 million. It's about 480 million. And each of the wards in Edo State will have lights in their primary health care. Adopted.
All right, Your Excellency. We need to make progress tonight. We need to make massive progress tonight. You and I know that our roads are bad in Edo State. And you and I also know that Edo State has become an axle among the states of the Federation. How do you intend to make Edo State a modern city? Not just Bini alone, Uromi, Ekpoma, Auchi, and several other towns to become major cities if you become the governor of Edo State?
When I become the governor of Edo State, I have avowed, and I've said it on my local government tours, my team and I will not make the mistakes that prior governments have always made. You know, they often seem to think that Edo State begins and ends in Benin City. And that is completely wrong. That will generate suspicion and a feeling of neglect among other parts and cities and peoples of our state. So we must ensure an equitable distribution of resources, and we must explore the strength of our different areas. I talked about infrastructure, soft and hard. It is the I in our I parts. And roads actually comes under hard infrastructure. Recently, it's a common joke in Edo State where you are going on a road, they say, this one a federal road again, that one a state road again. You see, the truth is that two things come into play here. One, value for human life. When you have value for human life, you will have that notion that your people are greater than you, and you will set to work with optimal relational currency. There are other states where the roads are being tarred. Their federal roads are being tarred. Why? Because there is relational currency with the center, irrespective of party divide. I have said this from the very beginning. Where you have somebody who is deficient in inter-relational currency, there will be that deficiency all around, even when they are in leadership. I am not such a person. My relational currency is top-notch. Currently, where I work across international divide, I am their conflict resolutor of repute. They bring me in when it's difficult. So we must first of all understand that we must have a good working relationship with the center, irrespective of which party. And this applies to all of us, which party comes. And then we must approach those sons and daughters we have outside of Edo State. A lot of them are superb engineers. As I speak to you, I'm already in contact with a lot of them, and they are just waiting and ready to come and construct this road. You see white men wearing caps and moving up and down for less. For less. Because they're already doing it, and they are willing to put their skills and services at the foot of our people. The next thing is I talked about adoption of roads. We must meet the people who use some of these roads the most. Big companies. Recently, when I looked at versions of MOU, I found out that hard infrastructure is not factored into any of the MOUs. It looks like people forget to do that. For example, in certain places now in Edo State, there are big companies like Dangote that they have their industries there. They give light to their workers and their workers' quarters. But immediately you leave that place outside, the community itself has no light. When I sought to look into what was happening, my team and I found that from ab initio, that MOU did not have any of those things in it. Same thing with the roads. When roads are being constructed in Sena Klein, they look at the load that that road...
Your Excellency.
These people must be made to impute into the construction and maintenance of the roads they use for their companies. And these are some of the ways money outside of the box.
All right, Your Excellency. If you are just joining us, you just heard the voice of Her Excellency, the incoming governor of Edo State by the special grace of God, a governorship aspirant under the Labour Party, Dr. LORETTA ODUWARE OGBORO-OKOR. The last question before we open the mic for people to begin to respond, to begin to ask their question tonight. Should you not get the ticket to become the flag bearer under the Labour Party, will you support the person that gets the ticket to run under the Labour Party? Or are you going to leave the Labour Party with annoyance and all of that? Should you not get a ticket, Your Excellency, will you still remain in the Labour Party to support the person that gets the ticket? Just in 2 minutes, respond to this while I open the mic for people to begin to ask their questions.
I really love this question. Anytime I'm asked, I always ask people that, what if I get the ticket? What's the probability? And they tell me it's 50-50. And I'm like, yeah, that's excellent. In my life as a surgeon, I don't worry about 50% of the possibility of what's not going to happen. I worry about the now. I'm trained to save lives. So when that bridge comes, we'll cross it. Thank you.
When that bridge comes, we'll cross it. The voice of Dr. Loretta, the incoming governor of Edo State by the special grace of God. We are going to throw the mic open right now. This is the rules and regulation. Do not unmute yourself until you are asked to do so. Once you eventually raise your hand, I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself. You will tell us your name, where you're reaching us from, and where you are from in Edo State. Maybe you don't know how to lift your hand. Simple. Just click on your name. You'll be given an option. Then you can lift your hand. All right, I'm going to ask Benedict Anyonowale Esquire. Can you kindly unmute your mic, man, sir? Tell us where you're reaching us from, where you are from in Edo State, and go straight to your question just in 1 minute, sir.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, madam. I'm Benedict Anyonowale. I'm from Edo State, South Central to be precise, but I live in Germany here. Well, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Let me quickly use the opportunity to congratulate our boys for winning today's match. It's something that is a tune of joy.
1-0. When they put us for hypertension. 1-0.
Anyway, that's great. Yeah. Madam, you just I listened quite attentively to you, and you've informed us that you worked in a male-dominated environment as a surgeon. My question is, are there other leadership positions that you have acquired experiences that you think that makes you stand out amongst other contesting aspirants to the office of the governor of Edo State? That's one question. Then the second question is, I know this is not the policy of Labour Party, but what is your opinion about the thinking of one or two political parties that it is the turn of Edo Central to produce the next governor? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, Your Excellency, please, you are going to hold on a little bit. I'm going to take one or two questions to add to that. So I'm going to ask you, kindly get a pen and paper, please.
Please, can I appeal? Can I appeal, sir, that these are two questions in one?
But I will be very grateful. You just listen to me, man, so that we will be able to. I will allow you to take this bet going forward. Can you look for a pen and paper, man, so that you can take one or two, three, and respond to them, okay? All right, please go ahead, man.
I have my pen in my hand, and I've had it in my hand since before the Zoom was logged on. Why I appealed to take these two questions first is because of the nature of the questions. They are very sensitive questions. So
no problem at all. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable. So, Esquire,
yes,
sir, your questions are very valid. It may interest you to know that when I started speaking, I gave a brief rundown of what I do. I'm an administrator and a manager of human resources. When you say you are a surgeon, most times, most people just think, oh, okay, you just only work in theater. For some of us, we've had the privilege to be exposed to administrating and to managing healthcare facilities and managing budgets that run into millions and also millions in naira and a lot of hundreds of thousands in hard currency. It may interest you to know that I run all of our NGOs and run our companies till date. And I've always been in leadership and leading positions. So I'm not a novice in that regards at all. Importantly, I'm a trained teacher across Europe. So I've worked in varied capacities. And even I went on to state that I led the team that worked on our manifesto. You can't do that without all of these experiences. So because of time, sometimes I'm not able to start saying this is this, this is that, but rest assured, all of that skills are intact. Now, going on to the issue of Edo Central producing the next governor, or zoning, as some people have called it, or the ASAN agenda, as some others will say, I don't want us to trivialize it at all. And it is because of this sub part of your question that I said, let me just take this first two. It is a very, very serious issue, and it's a very valid agitation by the people. Against the background of what I pointed out before, that prior to now, I have studied the works of successive governance or governance in Edo State. And it looks like other regions of Edo State have just been left behind in terms of their projects, their infrastructural development, and even their attention. Edo Central has been grossly marginalized. So let nobody trivialize their agitation. And in my consultation with elders from that region, we have come to see that this is actually why a lot of them are saying it has to be our turn so we can develop our place. But in all of these agitation, we must also realize that there are varied agitations. There are those who are saying it's youth o'clock, and there are those that are saying it's time for women to be given a chance. Let's try differently. Before I got into this race, we sent out teams to go into the field and ask what Edo State people truly want, anonymously. And when we analyzed it, what came to the fore is that they want someone with empathy, someone with capacity, someone with competence, someone with a track record of excellence. But overall, that person will get feeling for human suffering. And then state say they don't even care where that person from come. These are the people from the field. So moving forward, it is important, say, all their agitations where we get for Edo State, may we throw them open to the people. May we throw them open to the delegates who are bigger than each of us, and let them be the deciders of the fate of Edo State. Let no agitation be marginalized. Thank you very much.
Let no agitation be marginalized. All right. I'm going to ask that Matthew Israel. Can you kindly unmute yourself? Where are you reaching us from? And go straight to your question, sir. This same Matthew Israel, the last meeting we had, I called. All right, thank God that you have responded. Where are you reaching us from, sir?
Okay, I'm reaching you from Port Harcourt, sir.
Okay, reaching us from Port Harcourt. Go straight to your question, sir.
Okay, I just thank God for having you, man, in our midst today. And my question is that because everything you've said is the hope of a common man. But we've seen this before in the presidential election, whereby we have all hope and we go out in mass to vote for the rightful candidate that we want. And at the end, the hope was dashed by the judiciary and the rest of the people, especially here in Rivers State. I personally trekked to a very far distance to my polling unit. And basically, in the polling unit, almost everybody.
What is your question, sir? Can you go straight to your question?
Okay, my question is that after securing, if at all you secure the flag, what are the structures you put in place to be able to contest with other opponents, seeing the way the Nigerian politics is being run, godfatherism and the rest of it?
All right, thank you so very much. Your Excellency, I hope you have noted that. I'm going to ask that Pastor Ianso. Can you kindly unmute your mic, sir? Tell us where you're reaching us from and go straight to your question, sir.
Okay, good evening. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Honorable. Good evening, Her Excellency. Please, before I ask my question, I pray that Edo people we get this Labour Party, because there's no people have really suffered for Labour Party. Let God use this Labour Party, I mean this governorship of Labour Party, consult them in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay. Her Excellency Ma, are you there with me?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I have questions I want to ask. First, I'm Pastor Anya, so from Italy, a friend of Edo people. Though not from Edo, but we are Edo people. We support Edo people. My question is this: from your your introduction, from your background, you are an indigenous of Edo State, confirmed. They call it son of the soil, daughter of the soil. But you are now married to Delta person, by birth Edo indigenous, by marriage now Delta indigenous. Do you think that it is going to work? That the Edo people will give you the ticket, having been married, though that you are their daughter, you are the daughter of Edo, but you are now married to a Delta person, being now a Delta. Do you think that it's going to be possible for them to allow you to come and root them? And if eventually it happens that you become the governor of Edo State, they give you the ticket, won't your attention be divided by some part will now go to Edo State, some part will go where your husband is? Because I know that you are still with your husband. Then will your husband join you to be in Edo because you are going to be in Edo, or will you go to Delta, be ruling from Delta? Lastly, if God help, they give you the ticket, the obedient people, are they having the opportunity? Can they have access to reach you when the time reaches? Thank you.
All right, Your Excellency, I'm going to ask you to respond to those questions, man.
All right, sir. Thank you, Honorable Echo Meme. Thank you very much. Thank you for the questions. My brother from Port Harcourt, Pastor Matthew Israel, thank you very much. You were asking me that in recent times, hopes of the masses have been dashed, where they go and they queue up and they give their all. What am I going to do to stop this? And I think this question is akin to the one that was also asked me, that what capacity do I have to protect our votes? But what happens is that your own is a bit extended. You're asking what we will do with respect to INEC. Now, there's a parable that my people always make. They say that translated, we cannot say because people drown in rivers, we will not drink water again. No, we will always drink water because it's a basic need. So is proper governance a basic need. And the people of Nigeria and the people of Edo State will not be cowed and be made to live in fear and not exercise their franchise at all. Because the fear of fear is the beginning of failure. So, having this at the back of our mind, have no fear. And I stated it before, that I have a unique place in the center of Edo State politics. I cut across party lines. And right now, Edo State are looking for the right person on the horizon. So even some of these people who are wanting to snatch ballot boxes right now, they know that even Loretta coming is their hope. They know that the sons and daughters of these other people that have been using them are stored away abroad. And a Loretta-led government is the one that will fix them. They may not even snatch ballots on the day. Let's not miss this point I've been trying to make. It is very important. We cannot exchange AK-47 for AK-47 just to start with. But however, if push comes to shove, I've also stated that even if me, I don't have friends in this jungle that is maturing, even if me, I'm not a gutter jumper or in the jungle, I have friends behind the scenes that are in the jungle and that can watch the jungle even better than we did in the presidential elections, because we have learned our lessons. And I am a learner, a lifelong learner. I have learned from those mistakes. And it is because I've also learned from those mistakes that we will be prepared for INEC. How are we going to do it in its nitty-gritty? I am not allowed to reveal right now. So have no fears at all. We will surmount all of this in a multi-dimensional way. If I go on to the next question from my brother, our pastor from Italy, I love people like you who are friends of Edo State, because a lot of you are the ones that join us and make Edo State to move, or any country for that matter to move. My husband being from Delta State is not an issue at all. Douglas Okor went to Adolo for Adolo Road. So this is somebody who has been in it. His father was a professor in the University of Benin, Professor R.S. Okor in pharmaceutics. And to be honest, why do we want to devolve our sister state from us anyway? It is high time we started thinking about proper regional politics and regional collaborations in a healthy way to take our peoples forward. So it is an advantage. And in case you don't know, we have Delta people in Edo State. I went to Ovia and I went to see them and I spoke to them and they were very excited that my husband has his roots from where they have come from, even in parts of Ologu. So please, I want to throw more light on certain things you may not know. Deltans are not alien to us. And my husband is deeply rooted. He went to the University of Benin. Unibe not only gave me a certificate, he gave me a marriage certificate as well. So that is not a problem at all. And you are talking about a man who is one of Nigeria's foremost neurosurgeons. That is the apex of medical practice anywhere in the world. I can assure you he's not going to leave his neurosurgical practice and come and sit down and be whining his hands in Osadebe Avenue. You're looking at a man who walks across the world. So have no fears. In fact, he is an advantage, as are his people, to the forward movement of a regional old Bendel. Because in case you don't know, I am one of the board of trustees of the Midwest movement. Thank you very much.
All right, if you're just joining us, that is the voice of Dr. Loretta, governorship aspirant under the Labour Party, Edo State. I'm going to ask that Bashiru Shamsuddin, can you kindly unmute your mic? Tell us where you're reaching us from and go straight to your question just in 1 minute. The mic is yours, please. Go ahead. Shamsuddin, we can't hear you. Maybe you need to off your video. Hello, I hope I'm not speaking to myself alone. Can anybody hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, Honorable, we can hear you, please. We can hear you.
All right, it appears Shamsuddin's and Mike is bad. Okay, I'm going to ask Egwavan. Can you kindly unmute your mic? Comrade Egwavan, sir. Go straight to your question, sir. Where are you reaching us from, sir?
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Chris, and my dear sister. You're welcome. I would say you are one of my inspirators. You led us on Togba, and we succeeded. I have that hope that this time around is also possible. I have just one or two questions for you. What did you really have for us in the diaspora? You were once in the diaspora, you're now back home. What are the major things you have for the diaspora? Because if not your intervention, none of the Edo would have welcomed Governor Obaseku to Germany. And that is one. Two, some part of Edo North, to be precise, places like Odigetoe, they still have problems with these criminals. People cannot still go to their farm. What do you have in place in terms of security for these people? Now we have full security here and there. Please tell us something. Thank you.
All right, Your Excellency, I'm going to ask you to respond to those few questions, man.
Thank you, Honorable. Thank you very much. Thank you, my brother Egwavoin. How is Germany? And thank you for the commendation about working with Togba and the work I have done in the diaspora. In life, I believe that when we work, we build on the foundation we have laid. And sometimes when God is taking us somewhere, we may not even know why. Steve Jobs, he said not until towards the tail end of his life, he couldn't connect the dots. He was just walking. It was later he looked back in hindsight and he was able to connect the dots. As for the diaspora, I will be economical with the truth if I don't state here today in the open that my knowledge of the diaspora is first class. Edo State diaspora, I know it like the back of my palm. And I didn't set out to know it that way, but it happened. It happened because of the network I had. And it happened because people may not know, but I voluntarily worked in the current government to say that in the steering committee that was set up, we must have an Edo State diaspora agency. Because some of us have come to understand, and I said this before, that countries who develop, their rate of development is directly proportional to the engagement of their diaspora. Since ancient times, from Rome to Greece to Egypt, it may interest you to know that Haiti has the oldest diaspora agency in the world. And that is why they are able to respond quickly when they have natural disasters. Their diaspora will raise that food. So for us in Edo State, the blueprint is already there. And this is why some of us decided that we should take our places at the table. Because there is no need us drawing up blueprints. Then you put it under the table and you don't actualize it. There is no need us doing the work at the back and nobody actualizes it. So rest assured that the diaspora has a special place in my heart. And we are going to continue to work on that blueprint where you are going to have, the plan was that every diaspora of Edo State origin, whether you got to your place by legal or illegal migration, is going to have an Edo State identity card with a number. And when we talk about diaspora, we are not talking of only those Noriyekeze, only those where they are abroad. If you dey Port Harcourt and you come from Edo State, you be diaspora. And the way we even take we write and say Edo State peoples and friends of Edo State. Because you go get some people where their husband, Ugo, where then too, they want function from the diaspora.
Hello, Your Excellency. The question was simple. What plan do you have for those of them at the diaspora? Can we be a little bit fast, because our time is fast spent? I will see other questions to take place.
Sorry, this is a very passionate point because I have all the answers at my fingertips. And I've told you we are setting up an Edo State diaspora.
And I'm going
to do what we call remittance sector-based development. So what does that mean? I have already given an example with our money transfer, so I won't talk about that anymore. If you didn't hear that, I can talk to you after the meeting about it. Sector-based remittance development is when I say, Epa Egwavon or Mommy Lillian, we want to develop 200 hectares of land in Afuze. This is what it will cost. We know that you have worked and retired in the diaspora and you are a woman of means. Can you come and invest in this sector? This is sector strategic remittance. It's not just when you send money to your mother and your father. So you find that people will come together and invest in that sector. We'll do the same thing for health. We'll do the same thing for education. Now, why will they invest? Because they have the backing of the government. They understand that the government is going to see this through for the next 4 years or 8 years. They will put their money in it and they will make gains while investing. They will not just do it alone. Again,
can you quickly respond to the security challenge in the location you mentioned in Edo State, ma'am?
The security challenge is one that, if not tackled right now, we are going to, in fact, we're already in it. Food security will be a problem. Food shortage. Farmers are not going to their farms anymore. So to tackle this, it's a two-way approach. One, the people of the community must realize that security is also part of their daily functions as human beings, and they must be able to flag off anything that looks strange to them. But the question is, where do they flag it off? That has always been the problem. So this is where the second approach is going to come in. We know hotspots, and I'm glad that you brought one of them up. We know where they are. So we are going to collaborate with men of the Nigerian police force and put outposts, that's where they are called in other countries, outposts in hotspots, so that when you have any information, you are not going to run from Kalanamoda to Maiduguri. You are not going to run from Ososo to Benin City to come and report it. And you are going to also have hotlines where you have these outposts, so that when people report it, they can actually get to them on time. And these people must be provided for infrastructurally. So vehicles must be there for them. Wi-Fi must be there for them in that hotspot and that place. And this is something too that you can say, oh, all Edo children in Rome, this is a project, contribute towards it. People will do it as far as they can see that their money is working and they can hold you accountable. So these are ways that we have been thinking about that will solve the community challenges. The next thing is to use the community entry point. Our traditional rulers, we need them. We cannot fight them as government. We need them because a lot of the problems we are having are also coming from giving out our lands indiscriminately to foreigners. Edo State traditional rulers along board, some of them are guilty. So we need to educate them as to why this should not be the case and get them, if possible, to retrieve those that they've already given out. Because these are some of the breeding beds where a lot of these kidnappers and headsmen carry out their nefarious plans and activities.
All right, thank you so very much, Your Excellency. If you're just joining us, the voice of Dr. LORETTA, the governorship aspirant on the Labour Party, Edo 2024. I'm going to ask that Comrade Frank Agwebo, can you kindly unmute your mic, sir, and go straight to your question, sir?
Good evening, Doctor. You're welcome once again.
Good evening, sir.
Welcome, man. I'm glad to have you. It's a day I've looked up to. Man, I'm sure maybe this is the first time you are delving into politics. I don't know. I might be wrong. But to some extent, I've been there for a while. And I grew from support group into Labour Party politics. So much so that I contested for a local government chairmanship. While you were talking, you said you have been working with all the delegates. You know you and you know them. Man, I want to ask you, do you really know the delegates? Are you sure you know the delegates? That is number one. Number two, from your profile, it's very intimidating. You are very qualified to be the governor of Edo State. So much so that it shows, even the body language, that you will be doing Edo State favor being the governor of Edo State. I ask you once more, do you still feel that way, man? Now, if I know the one person asked the question earlier, but it was asked the other way, Honorable Chris asked whether you will leave Labour Party should the ticket elude you. But the question I want to ask you is, if you are given deputy governor, just in case you don't have the ticket, will you accept? And the final one, man, POPSG has been with you from the onset, right from the diaspora to Benin City. When you become the governor of Edo State, because the time is pregnant, what will you do for POPSG? Thank you, man.
All right, these are multiple questions in one. Your Excellency, I'm going to ask you to respond to that. Before I take the last two questions for tonight, then we call it a day.
Thank you very much, Honorable Echo Meme Obulu. I want to thank.
Go ahead.
I want to thank you, my brother, Frank Agwebo. Your first question, you said, and I quote, that I have been working with all the delegates, and that I said they know me and I know them. And then you went on to now ask, do you really know the delegates? Please, I want to expressly say that that is not what I said. I said that the delegates are not ghosts, they are not spirits, they reside amongst us. And that until recently, that it is beginning to evolve after the National Working Committee came out with their publication on the 17th, we had no idea of even the kind of primaries that we were going to have. So officially, I'm not even supposed to have known the delegates before that release. However, I went on to state that I have been going around my people from local government to local government, and that my people, our people of Edo State, they know me and I know them. And that it is from these people of Edo State and our party faithfuls that we are going to get the pool of delegates. I even went on to state that some delegates may be right now on this call. So please, I don't want you to take me out of context on that. I know exactly what I said. You can play the recordings back if this program was being recorded as at the time I said that. Moving on to the next thing. Now you said, do you really know the delegates? So I've answered that. And have no fears. Now that the guidelines are evolving, we will now know specifically who these delegates are. Don't worry about that. Do you still feel like the governor of Edo State? I didn't quite understand that question, no. But if I interpret it, I think you are asking me that, do I feel confident still that I can be governor of Edo State? You may have listened to my speech all this while. I never use if. I always use when I'm governor of Edo State by the grace of God. When we are there. I've never said if. And that is intentional. It is because God in heaven knows, even before I was born, that this, my daughter, will pass through all the hardships she's passing through. Because like I refine steel from raw iron, or we make diamond under pressure, I am preparing her for a unique seat, which is to be a light bearer for the people of Edo State. And by the grace of God, we are taking the light together to Sadebe Avenue this 2024. I have no doubts about that. Then your next question, Deputy Governor, if given, would I take it? And I ask people when they ask me this question, what is the probability that I will be offered Deputy Governor? What is the probability that I win the governorship of Edo State, there are two options. So if you look at it, it is half, 50-50. And I have said it before, and I will say it again. I am a surgeon. I deal with immediate emergencies. I am not going to be bothering about something that may not happen. It has a 50% chance of not happening, just like it has a 50% chance of happening. So let's not worry too much about those things. When we get to that river, we'll cross it. What will I be doing for POPSG? For POPSG, I have followed this support group. I must commend your tenacity as a group, despite all the obstacles, despite the differences in ideas and the variance of each of us. You have shown that in difference, we have our strength. And this is something we should translate to Edo State. Edo State is where we are all unique, starting from Edo North through the central to the south. And it is in that difference where we have our challenges that we also have our unique strength. So for POPSG, when I become governor, it is for you to look amongst yourself and find someone of capacity, because Loretta will not pick somebody that does not have capacity. So that's what you will start looking at now. Capacity to function in areas that will bring progress and that will harness your strengths and develop Edo State. And that is something we need to think about amongst ourselves. But rest assured, that should happen because you have shown direction and a focus on your focus.
All right. All right, Your Excellency. Comrade Frank Agwebo, I want to give you the room again because this is your constituency. I saw your hand moments ago. You want to ask another question? Go ahead.
Yes. I wanted to find out from you, ma'am, because I think yesterday the guideline started coming out. Are you comfortable with this new guideline that just came out?
Thank you very much, my brother. I've actually answered this before. I'll just summarize it. And when I answered it before, I spoke about the ethos of the Labour Party, Mama, Papa, Pekin, and being a party that sprung up from the unions, the NLC. So their ethos is for the common man and the average Nigerian. The Labour Party, when it was incepted, actually had a dream that our children and us will not be judged by the content of our pockets, but by the content of our character, our capacity, and our track record for excellence. So
Your Excellency, I'm going to ask you to respond to that. Are you comfortable with the guidelines?
Bringing out guidelines that are money prone and that did not even consider our differently abled and that did not apply discounts for our gender and that is overtly very expensive is not the ethos of the Labour Party. And behind the sanctuary of each of our locked doors, we know that it is not the right thing to do. However, I pray that very soon, when these are flagged up, the Labour Party National Working Committee will get it right. And to sum up my answer, the current state, I am not happy with it. Neither is
thank you so very much,
the ethos of the Labour Party.
Thank you so very much, Your Excellency. You have spoken for yourself and not in the generality of Labour Party. I'm going to ask that Helen. This is the last question. Your Excellency, I'm going to ask that you just calm down a little bit while we take the last question for tonight. Then we are bringing the national chairman for his closing remark. Then we make progress. I'm going to ask that Helen Asian, can you unmute your mic? Tell us where you're reaching us from and go straight to your question.
Yeah. Helen, good evening, everybody.
Helen.
Hello.
Oh, yeah, good evening. I can hear you loud and clear. Go ahead.
Okay. Yes, I'm going to be really quick. Thank you for taking me. Dr. Loretta ODUWARE, I'm illustrated by your accolades.
Where are you? Hold on. Where are you reaching us from? Where are you reaching us from?
Okay, I'm reaching you from the diaspora and the United States, from Georgia.
All right. Which of the place are you from in Edo State?
I'm from Benin. Already.
All right, please go ahead. Go straight to your question, man.
Yes.
All right, man.
Yes, I'm really thrilled with Dr. Okor's accolade. You cannot really construct the heart of a man from the face. So my question, let me go straight, is that I have also participated in Obaseki and Labour Congress for Obi. But now I heard you talk about the PAC adoption. So I wondered if PAC is not supposed to be a government project. And if I'm wrong, so how do you plan to fund, execute, and manage PAC? Thank you.
Sorry, did you say PAC or PHC?
Yes, PHC. Yes.
Primary healthcare?
Yes.
Oh, okay, ma. Okay, ma. All right. I'll wait. Any other question?
This is the last question for tonight. So can you respond in the next 2 minutes? Then we make progress, man.
Okay. Thank you very much, our sister Helen from Georgia.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma. I want to state that we have a primary healthcare body in Edo State that is responsible right now for actually managing all things primary health care. However, the problem has always stemmed from the fact that the local government, which is the closest arm of government to the people, has never really been functional. And it is the local government that takes care of primary health care, let's be honest, and basic education. Because primary healthcare is like the base of the pyramid. It is wide. It is what happens in the community. So if the local government is non-functional, whatever agencies we have to look into primary healthcare will not be optimized. And I spoke about funding of these primary healthcare centers. I, a Loretta-led government and team, we are not going to come on board and start building new primary healthcare centers. No, because there is no need. Each of the ward currently has primary healthcare centers. They are just not functional. So one of the ways to fund them is what I said before, which is to get our current people who are bankers, industries, investors in Edo State to arise and do their corporate civic responsibility. Adopt a primary healthcare center or adopt a school. And all you have to do is to ensure that there is basic light there and there's basic water and that we can keep the staff in the community to work within the community. We must think out the box. And this is where things like task shifting and tax sharing must come in. Because when doctors have jackpot and people are running only to Benin City, nobody is going to stay in Uoha or Aviele, to actually work there. So we need to think, why are the people running away? It means we must provide the basics for them as well. So this means that we need to now develop the skill of the traditional birth care attendants, the community health extension workers, to be able, via a training the trainer pathway, so that they stay and actually render care because they've been trained and standardized. So that way, we are going to need less doctors, more nurses, but not as many, and a lot more community health extension workers. And we can then have a solid base for primary health care. But we can only achieve this when our local government is truly functional and the primary healthcare agency itself is what.
All right, Your Excellency. What a night it was to have hosted Her Excellency.
Attend to my question, please. Attend to the question. I've already pasted it.
Do not unmute yourself like that, sir. Your time is up. I can't take your question anymore. I gave you the time and you were not there to respond. Our time is fast spent. We need to call it a day.
Honorable, please.
As I speak with you, my battery life is running 18. Hold on, please. My battery life is running 17%. You know how Nigeria run. For 2 days now, there is no light here. So please, I gave him the opportunity. I screened his name, he never responded. I want to bring in the national/international chairman of Peter Obi Presidential Support Group to take us to the next level before I take the last word from our guest tonight. Reverend Ambassador Felix Obaze, the mic is yours. Reverend Ambassador Felix Obaze, sir, the mic is yours. As I speak, my battery life is almost gone.
Okay, the network threw me out a while ago. I just came back in. But before I left, I understand someone was trying to ask a question. If the person is still there, let's give him 1 minute. Someone was raising his hand. Is the person still there?
Yes, I'm still there.
Okay, Bushari, I know you were called severally, but go ahead with your question.
Thank you very much, sir. Yeah, I'm calling for Ovia Northeast, Edo State.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, thank you, sir. So I want to ask sir a question. If she emerges as the governors of Edo State, like what strategies do you envision implementing to addressing prevailing issues of unemployment among the youth in Edo State? That's number one. And number two, how do you enhance the overall educational infrastructure for all the students schooling in the Edo State and for the Edo State indigenous, as I'm the student representative of Edo State students? Thank you very much, ma'am.
Oh, my brother Shamshuddin, I'm glad you asked your question eventually. To be honest, Edo State's current educational status, there was an attempt to do something, but it can be better. Basic education and technical education is what we will focus on. The reason is because we want to move from consuming to producing, and it is that technical education that will exponentially liberate our industries and make us produce. So once you are going through school and you know that when you go to a vocational school, a technical college, and you study maybe mechanic, when you come out, the government now has a hub for mechanic. We are taking away their startup costs because we are creating that hub. We'll give them that hub for the first 2 years. We'll reduce, they will not pay tax for the first 2 years. We'll give reduced loans to them. So before you know it, everybody will be able to start their own small and medium scale enterprise and become employers of labor themselves. So this is how we are going to tackle the job problems. Because when we have an improvement of that, same with our mothers in the markets, same with them as well. You are going to encourage people to be small and medium scale entrepreneurs and a lot more as well, but time will not allow. But thank you very much for the question. I'm happy to engage with you after this meeting so as to save our life further. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone that has been on this call. It's been 2 hours now, and we have said and again that when we call these meetings latest 10 p.m., we should be rounding up. It's just 3 minutes to 10 p.m. in Nigeria. So I thank everyone for joining tonight's meeting, and I want to sincerely appreciate our guest, our very own Dr. LORETTA ODUWARE OGBORO-OKOR, for being very extensive in her discussion. It's, from what has been seen tonight, we appreciate that you are very capable to occupy Osadebe House, and God willing, God will see you through. So we give you the best of luck, and wish that Labour Party delegates see what you are made of, and that God will be on your side. So I celebrate you, man.
To all that have joined this meeting tonight, I want to appreciate you. We have a date some other time, probably on Sunday. Let's keep the date and let's keep pushing. Bless you all and have a good night rest.
All right, in the coming days, we're going to be hosting honor